Have you ever felt the electric thrill of anticipation before a date, only to have that excitement dissolve into self-doubt the moment the conversation starts? What if you could harness that rush, transform it into unwavering confidence, and navigate the complexities of modern romance with the poise of an ancient sage? In this video, we lift the curtain on the Stoic secrets that can transform each date into a powerful practice of self-mastery. You'll discover how to build rock-solid confidence that stands firm when nerves strike, forge genuine connections that cut through the noise of small talk, and embrace rejection as a catalyst for growth rather than a source of defeat. Stay with us, because by the end, you'll wield Stoic principles like a compass, guiding you toward deeper attraction, a resilient mindset, and lasting fulfillment. 1. The Stoic mindset, foundation for authentic confidence. Stand at the center of your world, where power resides not in external applause but in unwavering mastery of your mind. The Stoic mindset is a radical shift, a call to focus on what you alone command, your perceptions, choices, and actions. Imagine transforming every pang of doubt into a deliberate decision, every racing thought into a steady engine of self-assurance. In the realm of dating, this mindset becomes your greatest ally, forging a bedrock of calm confidence that no rejection can erode. First, carve out the sacred boundary between what lies within your grasp and what drifts beyond it. Your words, your tone, your expression, these are yours to wield. Whether crafting a text or greeting someone face to face, your presence springs from intention, not whim. Release the frantic urge to control someone's reaction. Trust instead in the strength of your integrity. This liberates you from the tyranny of what if, allowing you to engage fully, without blinders or fear. Next, nurture relentless self-inquiry. At day's end, pause and reflect. Did I honor my values? Did I speak boldly yet kindly? Did I listen with genuine curiosity? These questions sharpen your inner compass, guiding you toward authentic behavior that does more than impress, it resonates. You become someone who doesn't merely chase consent, but who gives respect and earns trust. Finally, embrace the fierce calm that emerges when you stop chasing outcomes. Like a steady lighthouse braving the storm, your composed confidence draws others toward you. They sense a warrior of the soul, undaunted by uncertainty, motivated by purpose, and anchored in self-respect. This is the heart of the Stoic mindset, an unshakable foundation upon which real, powerful connections can be built. 2. Virtue is the ultimate attraction. At the core of Stoicism lies the conviction that virtue is not an accessory. It is the bedrock of a life defined by integrity, and in the world of dating, it becomes your most impressive credential. Virtue demands unwavering honesty. You speak your truth even when it trembles, prioritizing integrity over convenience. It requires kindness, a generosity of spirit that uplifts others. Without seeking recognition, it compels respect, treating every individual is worthy of dignity rather than a conquest for personal gain. And it calls for courage, the inner fire that propels you to open your heart and stand unwavering, even in the face of uncertainty. Contrast this with hollow charm, facile words, rehearsed smiles, and illusion that falters under the weight of inconsistency. The Stoic stands apart, someone who may not spin elaborate tales, but whose authenticity resonates. Like a clear bell, others sense this authenticity at a primal level. They feel the solidity of your character and gravitate toward its calm strength. By keeping your promises, you honor not only your date, but the higher code you live by. When you listen deeply, leaning into another's words and emotions instead of planning your next line, you signal real interest and respect for their inner world. Small acts of kindness, such as holding a door, offering a genuine compliment, or sending a thoughtful follow-up, become powerful expressions of virtue. This steadfast practice of moral excellence elevates every interaction. Attraction anchored in character withstands the passage of time, outlasting fleeting infatuations. When you cultivate virtue, you stop chasing love and instead become someone inherently worthy of it, a beacon drawing kindred spirits who value depth and authenticity. 3. Emotional resilience, turning rejection into redirection. Rejection stings like salt on a fresh wound, but within every setback lies the seed of transformation. Stoicism arms you with the tools to meet rejection head-on and transmute its pain. into powerful forward momentum. The Stoic principle of amor fati, the love of fate, invites you to embrace each encounter, good or ill, as a step on the growth path. When a date doesn't text back or an invitation is declined, resist the urge to retreat into self-doubt. Instead, lean into curiosity. What can this moment teach me about my expectations, boundaries, and communication style? Marcus Aurelius declared, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Each no or silence serves as raw material, forging clarity about what genuinely resonates with your values. Perhaps you learn that witty banter alone cannot sustain a connection, or that direct communication fosters trust where ambiguity breeds anxiety. Use these insights to fine-tune your approach rather than wallow in resentment. Practical steps reinforce this resilience. After a disappointing interaction, pause and journal your honest reaction: anger, sadness, confusion without judgment. Then pivot. Identify one actionable adjustment, whether it's crafting clearer messages, asking more open-ended questions, or setting healthier personal boundaries. By converting emotional turbulence into planning, you break the cycle of reactivity and reclaim your agency. Over time, this practice steels your mind against the sting of rejection. You begin to see each redirection not as a personal defeat, but as precise calibration guiding you toward more compatible partnerships. This unshakable emotional resilience transforms rejection from a source of despair into a catalyst for self-improvement, propelling you toward connections grounded in authenticity and mutual respect. For mindful presence, the power of undivided attention. In an age where distractions clamor for your focus, practicing mindful presence in dating becomes a powerful declaration of respect and intent. Stoicism teaches you to train your awareness, anchoring your mind in the immediate moment. Picture yourself on a date, the world's noise fading to a soft hum. Your phone is silent and out of sight. Your senses sharpen. You see the flicker of a smile, hear the warmth in each sentence, and feel the subtle energy our mutual presence creates. This undivided attention communicates far more than words ever could. It signals that you value the person before you and that their thoughts matter. When you cultivate this level of focus, conversations deepen effortlessly. You notice the nuanced shifts in tone, the stories that surprise, and the unspoken emotions that enrich connection. Mindful presence also becomes your sanctuary against anxiety. As you anchor in the present, concerns about the future, will there be a next date? What might go wrong, dissolve. Instead, you breathe in confidence, exhaling doubt. This calm-centeredness radiates an authentic magnetism. It tells others you are fully engaged, unafraid, and grounded in yourself. To practice this, begin each date with a brief centering ritual. Take 3 slow breaths, tune into your posture, and release any racing thoughts. During conversation, listen not to reply, but to understand, absorbing each word before responding. If your mind drifts, gently guide it back without judgment. These moments of recalibration confirm your commitment to honest dialogue and emotional availability. By extending mindful presence, you transform ordinary meetings into memorable encounters. You shift from performing for approval to co-creating genuine connection. In doing so, you harness the Stoic art of attention, making every shared moment a testament to respect, curiosity, and profound engagement. 5. Self-Sufficiency. Building inner strength. True strength springs from within, and Stoics teach that self-sufficiency is not isolation, but the liberation of your spirit. In dating, when you lean on someone else to fill an inner void, you risk creating a bond built on need rather than mutual respect. Instead, cultivate an inner fortress, one that welcomes companionship as a gift, not as the sole source of your happiness. Begin by investing in pursuits that ignite passion and foster growth. Whether you discover flow in a creative endeavor, mastery in a craft, or renewal in physical training, each achievement deepens your sense of agency. Immerse yourself in learning a new language, a challenging book, or a disciplined practice so that your identity is rich and multifaceted. Nurture a circle of friends who elevate and challenge you, offering camaraderie that stands apart from romantic entanglements. These friendships become mirrors, reflecting both your strengths and blind spots, and remind you that love exists in many forms. Adopt daily rituals that ground you, journaling to unravel your thoughts, meditation to steady your mind, and deliberate acts of self-care to honor your well-being. These practices affirm that your worth is inherent, not earned through another's affection. When you arrive on a date, you bring a whole person, someone with a life already in motion, filled with interests, ambitions, and self-respect. This sense of abundance dissolves desperation. You engage from abundance rather than scarcity. Your presence becomes a gift, not a plea. Partners instinctively sense this self-reliance. It ignites attraction because it promises a relationship founded not on dependence, but onto complete individuals choosing to walk side by side. In building your inner strength, you transform your dating life, no longer seeking someone to complete you, but finding a companion to complement your journey. 6. Goal-oriented action, planning with flexibility. Stoicism teaches that having clear goals channels your energy with purpose, yet reminds you that the road to those goals rarely unfolds exactly as imagined. In dating, this principle empowers you to define meaningful intentions, qualities you seek in a partner, values that matter most, and the communication style you want to nurture while remaining adaptable in how you pursue them. Begin by setting concrete objectives. Perhaps you aim to meet someone who shares your curiosity, demonstrates kindness, or values open dialogue. Write these intentions down as guiding stars, not rigid demands. Then design an action plan with multiple routes. Attend community gatherings. Try interest-based meetups. Engage on thoughtfully curated dating platforms, or lean into introductions from friends. By diversifying your approach, you reduce the risk of stagnation when one path yields little connection. Yet plans are living documents, not stone tablets. Stoic flexibility means observing real-time feedback without defensiveness. If a conversation repeatedly stalls on small talk, pivot to questions that invite deeper sharing. What experience shaped your outlook most? If online matches feel superficial, refine your profile to highlight authentic passions rather than generic traits. Each adjustment arises from deliberate reflection rather than panic. Embrace the Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, mentally rehearsing potential obstacles, a canceled date, unexpected disinterest, miscommunication, and envisioning calm, constructive responses. This mental rehearsal fortifies you against setbacks, transforming surprises into manageable detours rather than crushing failures. Above all, act with decisive purpose. When opportunity appears, a promising match, an invitation to connect, respond with timely boldness, but do so with the grace of non-attachment. If outcomes deviate from your hopes, let go without self-reproach, recalibrate your strategy, and move forward. By melding focused intention with fluid adaptability, you navigate the dynamic landscape of modern dating like a seasoned Stoic, mindful of your destination, open to unexpected paths, and empowered to embrace each turn with confidence and creativity. 7. Courageous vulnerability, the heart of authentic connection. True courage in Stoicism is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to stand exposed, heart first, despite it. In dating, vulnerability becomes the bridge from superficial interaction to soul-deep connection. Picture yourself standing at an emotional crossroads, one path lined with safe platitudes, the other lit by raw honesty and trembling authenticity. Courageous vulnerability compels you to choose the latter. Begin by sharing your values with conviction. Speak of what matters most without apology. Reveal your passions, your dreams, and yes, your doubts. Admitting uncertainty is not a sign of weakness. It is an act of strength that proclaims, "I am enough," even when imperfect. Allow your voice to carry the tremor of sincerity. This beckons your partner to do the same, cultivating an atmosphere of mutual trust. Then, stretch your comfort zone by expressing small truths that matter. A childhood memory that shaped you, a fear that lingers, or a hope you guard closely. Each revelation is a brick in the foundation of intimacy. As you build this foundation, walls of pretense crumble. What remains are two human beings seen in full. Expect initial discomfort. Your instinct may clamor for retreat. In these moments, draw on Stoic reasoning. Remember that all external impressions are neutral. It is your judgment that labels them as painful. Choose to reframe vulnerability as the path to deeper understanding. Rather than a gamble of rejection, embrace each vulnerable moment as a victory over fear. Notice how genuine transparency sparks reciprocity, your partner's guard lowers, and shared understanding blossoms. Over time, this dance of open-hearted exchange becomes second nature, transforming dating from a performance into a shared journey of discovery. In summoning the courage to reveal your authentic self, you carve space for profound connection. Vulnerability, sustained by Stoic resolve, becomes the heart of relationships that endure, thrive, and resonate long after the first spark. 8. Managing expectations, freedom from attachment. Attachment to specific outcomes is a silent architect of disappointment, a script we write before the story even begins. Stoicism teaches us to release these self-imposed constraints and approach each date as an open canvas, ready to be painted by genuine discovery rather than rigid assumptions. Imagine stepping into a first meeting not with a preconceived checklist of milestones. When will we make it official? Or how quickly? Should we fall in love? But instead with curiosity lighting your path, ready to explore the person before you without a hidden agenda. This act of non-attachment does more than spare you the sting of unmet expectations. It intensifies your presence and heightens your experience. When you let go of scripting the future, you engage fully in the moment. You savor the cadence of laughter, the subtle shifts in conversation, the unspoken bonds that form in shared silence. Detachment is not indifference. It is the freedom to immerse yourself without fear, the courage to feel deeply even when outcomes are uncertain. Practically, begin by noticing when your mind wanders to what-ifs and gently guide it back. What am I learning? How is this person surprising my assumptions? Each question redirects your focus from the destination to the journey. When you catch yourself fixating on future scenarios, pause, breathe, and reframe. This connection is a gift, not a guarantee. By cultivating this mindset, you build resilience against the disappointments that spring from clinging too tightly. Instead, you develop gratitude for each unfolding chapter, celebrating genuine interactions regardless of where they lead. This freedom from attachment transforms dating into an act of exploration, an adventure guided by presence, curiosity, and an unwavering openness to possibility. 9. Reflective practice, journaling, and continuous growth. Reflection is the forge where raw experience is molded into wisdom. The Stoics kept daily journals not as vain records, but as tools for relentless self-examination. In your dating life, adopt this practice with vigor. After each meaningful interaction, be it a text exchange, a coffee date, or a simple conversation, take time to write. What moments felt authentic? Where did anxiety creep in? Which actions drew a genuine smile? And which silences lingered awkwardly? As you chronicle these insights, patterns begin to reveal themselves. Perhaps you notice that when you steer conversations toward topics you're passionate about, your energy surges and your date responds with greater interest. Maybe you uncover recurring triggers, certain questions that stir doubt, or stories that leave you second-guessing. These discoveries are not indictments. They are invitations to refine your approach. Chart your progress by setting micro-goals in your journal. This week, I will listen without interruption, or tonight, I'll share one personal story without fear. At the end of each entry, note one lesson learned and one actionable step for tomorrow. Over time, these entries become a roadmap of growth, each page a testament to your evolving self-mastery. Beyond analysis, journaling offers emotional release. Pouring your raw feelings onto the page dissolves their power to overwhelm. What once felt like a tangle of doubts becomes manageable data, ready for Stoic scrutiny and resolution. Continuous growth hinges on consistent practice. Schedule your journal time as a non-negotiable ritual, perhaps at night's quiet close, or first thing at dawn. Treat it as sacred, dialogue with your deepest self where honesty reigns. Through this reflective discipline, you transform dating from a series of fleeting events into a continuous path of self-improvement. Journaling arms you with clarity, resilience, and the unwavering self-awareness that underpins genuine, lasting connections. 10. Integrating Stoicism in modern dating platforms. Modern dating platforms offer unprecedented access to potential partners, but without Stoic guardrails, they can lead to endless swiping and shallow judgments. To harness these tools effectively, Begin by clarifying your core values, qualities like honesty, curiosity, and kindness, and use them as filters. When browsing profiles, look beyond curated photos to concise self-presentations and shared interests that resonate with your virtue-driven goals. Quality over quantity becomes your mantra. Craft your bio with directness and authenticity. Rather than listing generic traits, share a brief snapshot of what energizes you, a weekend passion project, a favorite philosophical quote, or a meaningful travel story. This invites kindred spirits and signals that you embody substance, not superficial flair. In your opening messages, lead with genuine curiosity. Ask about a recent post or interest instead of defaulting to cliched compliments. As matches emerge, apply Stoic mindfulness to your engagement rhythm. Schedule short, deliberate check-ins rather than sporadic scrolling sessions. Respond when you can offer thoughtful attention, not out of compulsion. This disciplined approach prevents burnout and reinforces the principle that your time and focus are valuable assets. When it's time to transition from digital to real-world interaction, choose environments that foster meaningful exchange: coffee shops, art galleries, or public walks. These settings echo Stoic values: simplicity, presence, and openness. Plan logistics with temperance. Arrive punctually. Come prepared with a few open-ended questions, and orient the conversation toward depth rather than spectacle. Throughout, practice non-attachment. Accept that many matches will fade, and not every conversation will lead to a date. Each interaction is data for self-improvement. Reflect on which profiles elicited your strongest response, which messages sparked genuine dialogue, and which digital behaviors drained your energy. Use these insights to refine your approach. By integrating Stoic principles: purposeful intention, authentic self-expression, disciplined engagement, and reflective iteration into modern dating platforms, you transform an often aimless process into a structured journey of meaningful connections and personal growth. 11. Overcoming common pitfalls with Stoic strategies. Even the most dedicated Stoic can stumble in the unpredictable landscape of dating. Recognizing common pitfalls and deploying targeted Stoic strategies transforms potential derailments into opportunities for growth. 3 traps recur most often: overthinking, chasing external validation, and fearing vulnerability. Pitfall 1. Overthinking. The mind can race through endless scenarios, analyzing every word choice, predicting every outcome. Stoicism counters this with a return to present moment action. When you catch yourself spiraling, ask, what is the next right step? Should I send this text, ask a question, or simply listen? By reducing your focus to an immediate, purposeful action, you break the paralysis of endless rumination and restore forward momentum. Pitfall 2. Chasing validation. Seeking approval from a date or match can erode your self-worth. Stoics teach that true validation emerges from virtuous living, not external praise. When you notice a craving for compliments, do they like me? Shift your attention inward. Did I act with honesty and respect? Did I uphold my values? This recalibration grounds your confidence in integrity rather than fluctuating opinions. Pitfall 3. Fear of vulnerability. Too often, fear convinces us to conceal our true selves, resulting in shallow interactions. Stoic resilience reframes discomfort as a sign of potential growth. When your heart pounds at the thought of sharing a personal truth, remind yourself, fear is a natural impulse, but courage lies in choosing authenticity. Each moment of brave disclosure builds intimacy and dismantles the walls that block genuine connection. By anticipating these pitfalls and practicing Stoic remedies: action-focused clarity, virtue-driven self-worth, and courageous vulnerability, you transform stumbling blocks into stepping stones. Your dating journey becomes not a series of random trials, but a deliberate path of self-mastery and connection. 12. Real stories. Stoicism in action. Real transformation often emerges from lived experience, and these stories illustrate Stoic principles in the crucible of modern dating. Take Sarah, for instance. She once found herself trapped in a cycle of anxiety, scrutinizing every text until it felt like a minefield. After embracing the Stoic distinction between what she could and couldn't control, she shifted her focus to enriching her own life, diving into passion projects, deepening friendships, and cultivating a morning journaling ritual. When a notification lit up her screen, she no longer panicked over phrasing, but responded from a place of composure. That calm confidence summoned others who valued her authenticity, leading her to a meaningful relationship founded on mutual respect. Then there's Mike, whose fear of rejection was so paralytic he avoided asking anyone out. Inspired by Marcus Aurelius's teaching that our actions are within our power, he began a simple daily exercise. He wrote down one small act of courage, sending a message, proposing a coffee meetup regardless of outcome. Each time he faced a no, he treated it not as failure but as raw feedback, adjusting his approach with curiosity. Over the months, Mike's self-assurance blossomed. He learned to relish the process of meeting new people rather than fixating on results. Consider also Lena, who struggled with superficial connections on dating apps. By applying virtue-driven filters, seeking profiles that highlighted genuine interests and aligned values, she narrowed her matches and invested quality time in fewer conversations. Her practice of mindful presence, turning off notifications, and dedicating undistracted attention to each task deepened her interactions. The result? Fewer conversations, but richer ones that blossomed into face-to-face dates with real chemistry. These narratives converge on a common thread: Stoic strategies, embracing control where it matters, practicing resilience, and showing up with integrity translate directly into dating success. They prove that emotional setbacks, awkward encounters, and swipes that go nowhere are not roadblocks, but stepping stones. Each story underscores that by mastering oneself, you unlock the potential for authentic connection and lasting fulfillment. 13. Building a Stoic dating routine. A consistent routine weaves Stoic practice into the tapestry of your daily life, transforming dating from sporadic events into an integrated journey of self-mastery and connection. Begin each morning with reflection. Settle into quiet stillness and set a clear intention. For instance, today, I will approach each interaction with curiosity and courage. This ritual aligns your mindset with Stoic purpose, priming you to act from integrity rather than impulse. Midday, pause and practice mindful presence. Whether that means taking a mindful breath before responding to a message or sneaking in a brief meditation to recenter your focus, these pockets of awareness reinforce the principle that your composure is yours to command. By interrupting reactive loops, you maintain the calm necessary for authentic engagement. As dusk falls, dedicate time to journaling. Review the day's conversations and encounters. Celebrate moments where you upheld your virtues: honesty, kindness, respect, and note instances where you yielded to anxiety or expectation. Transform these observations into actionable insights. Tomorrow, I will ask one open-ended question before sharing my own story, or I will note when I feel the urge to seek validation and consciously redirect to self-inquiry. Intertwined with these daily anchors, schedule deliberate social actions. 1 week, focus on crafting authentic bios and initiating purposeful online conversations. The next, attend a community event or reach out to a potential match for a low-pressure coffee meetup. Alternate between introspective practice and outward engagement to ensure that growth is both internal and experiential. Finally, honor rest and detachment as key elements of your routine. Stoicism values temperance. Allow yourself breaks from dating apps and social planning to recharge and reflect. This rhythm of action and repose prevents burnout and underscores that your worth, romantic or otherwise, flourishes in balance. By embedding these rituals into your life, you forge a daily Stoic practice that supports continuous growth, deepens your connections, and keeps your heart steady on the path to meaningful relationships. 14. The long game. Patience and perseverance. True partnership is rarely an overnight achievement. It is forged in the furnace of time and sustained by unwavering resolve. Stoicism extols patience not as passive waiting, but as active endurance, holding fast to your principles while the currents of life carry you forward. In dating, this means honoring the journey over fixating on immediate results, trusting that consistent, value-driven action compounds into meaningful connection. Begin by embracing the pace of progress. Recognize that each conversation, each shared laugh, And each moment of vulnerability adds a brick to the foundation of mutual understanding. When days stretch into weeks without visible sparks, resist the urge to abandon ship. Instead, affirm your commitment to presence and integrity, knowing that genuine rapport often germinates beneath the surface before bursting into bloom. Discipline your expectations. Chart long-term intentions, but break them into manageable intervals. Celebrate small victories, the genuine smile you evoke, the moment you listen without fear, the time you practice calm amidst uncertainty. These micro wins invigorate your spirit and reinforce the habit of perseverance. Stoic endurance is fueled by inner purpose. Anchor yourself in virtue. Let honesty, courage, and temperance guide each interaction, irrespective of immediate outcomes. When impatience or doubt arise, remind yourself that your highest objective is self-mastery. Your character, not another's response, remains your true measure of success. Visualize setbacks as part of the longer narrative. A date that falls flat or a plan that unravels is not evidence of failure, but chapters in your growth saga. Reflect on these moments, journal the lessons learned, adjust your approach, and move forward undeterred. Over time, this feedback loop forges resilience and clarity. Finally, cultivate a mindset of steady hope. Stoic optimism is not blind faith in outcomes. It is confidence in your capacity to adapt and thrive regardless of what unfolds. Hold your goals gently, pursue them passionately, and allow patience to temper your expectations. In playing the long game, you transcend the ephemeral highs and lows of dating. You embark on a deliberate odyssey, a testament to the power of time-honed virtue and relentless perseverance. This is how lasting partnerships emerge, not from snapshots of charm, but from the sustained harmony of two individuals committed to growth and integrity. Stoicism does not promise a perfect dating life. It offers something far more enduring: mastery over your mind, integrity in your actions, resilience in the face of adversity. By embodying Stoic virtues, you become magnetic not through gimmicks, but through genuine character. So take the Stoic challenge. Embrace control where it matters. Cultivate virtue, practice presence, and dare to be vulnerable. Your dating life will transform not by chasing others' approval, but by standing firm in your own. As you step into the arena of love, let Stoicism be your guide. Feel the wind at your back, for in mastering yourself, you unlock the power to connect, to inspire, and to love with unwavering strength. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, like, share, and subscribe for more insights on Stoic living. Remember, the only person you can truly change is yourself, and that, my friend, is more than enough.